Peace guys, welcome back to another video. Today I am here to rank my top 5 least favorite Pokemon of all times. The reason I picked 5 instead of 10 or maybe just an entire list of like 20 least favorite Pokemon is because, well, I don't have that much least favorite Pokemon. Dislike here are a little bit more personal than most people's dislike than just, oh, it's an ugly design. I mean, there are some designs that I do not like from this list. I wouldn't necessarily call them ugly. Reason, and the main reason this list is so small is because, well, for one, I love when I use bad or ugly Pokemon on my playthrough. There have been times where I lose like Diggersby or something like that, and it just gave me appreciation to that Pokemon. Another thing too is that I love underrated boys. I mean, name a bigger fan of Durant. I dare you to name a bigger fan who loves Durant more than me, because I want to meet that person. And, you know, there are other Pokemon that I love, like Oathworm, Sigilith, Sock and Throw. Those Pokemon, to me, what Pokemon's all about. They don't have to be all this fleshy. But yeah, this is my top 5 least favorite Pokemon of all times. And like any opinions, you don't have to agree, you can disagree, and just put it in the comments below with your top 5 favorite or least favorite Pokemon of all times. Alright, let's get into it. Number 5. Alright, starting off with number 5. Number 5 is Unfezant, specifically its female form. Unfezant as a Pokemon in general is it's another normal flying type. And also, its stats are mid. I mean, it has good speed in 98 and a good attack in 115. And again, it's another normal flying type. It would have been better off if it was a flying type. But at least it looks good. For the male counterpart, by the way. The male counterpart is really fun. I love that it's based on Masquerade. This thing looks so cool. Like, this thing has like a feather mask. I don't know if it's part of its face or whatnot, but whatever it is, it looks cool. And honestly, it even looks better than that one legendary that's also based on the same thing, Unfezantipede. Honestly, it just looks cooler. But the female form is the most laziest, boringest design in my opinion. It is not even funnily boring like Flamingo. Flamingo is funny because it's literally just straight for one a Flamingo, but it kind of looks like a boxing glove, so that's why it's fighting type. Unfezant, it has nothing and also has a bad design. It's literally just a bird that wears pants, I think. I don't know. That brown stuff on its bottom, it looks like it pooped itself more than anything. This bird is just like one of the worst gender difference in all of Pokemon, in my opinion. And that's saying much, because most of the female forms of gender-different Pokemon are usually cooler than their male counterparts. But besides that, it's a boring bird. Thinking about it, it just has that awkward design. I don't know. The brown just on that area just looks so off. And for one, it's comparing it to the male counterpart. It's like, how the hell did Ash catch female Unfezant than male? Like, imagine if this guy had a male. Like, it probably would have done the same thing like female, but at least it would have looked cooler. Like, it would have been practically Unovan Swellow at that point. But yeah, and male Unfezant is just an awkward design. I know there's worse, but to me, I think it's just like, it's boring and awkward. It's not one or the other. Awkward or boring, you probably should just do one or the other. This one to me is just both. It's both. It's worse, it's terrible, and has just a superior counterpart, and it doesn't even have anything else different but beside like another ability or different stats for it. It just got nothing for it, and it's just a nothing, boring, stupid Pokemon. Alright, on to the next one. Okay, number 4. I know this might riot a lot of people. Probably. Oh, we'll see. Number 4 is the Gen 9 grass starter. That's right, it's Masquerada. Masquerada is really bad. And there is one reason the main overall reason why it's bad, but I have actually figured out 3 other reasons why it's bad, maybe even 4, and yeah, I'm just here to tell you that. Okay, first reason, it's furbait. Guys, it's furbait. It's another quadruped starter that becomes bipedal when it fully evolves. Be a fine, but the thing is, really look good on top of it being bipedal. I know that a lot of people don't like Incineroar for better or worse reasons. I like Incineroar, you know, they established that this guy was a wrestler and a tiger, and just that concept alone is already crazy. But then you get to see like this muscular, prideful, monstrous tiger lion thing. You know, every VGC person hates this Pokemon for better or worse. I'm indifferent to it. I haven't seen them of it in Champions, surprisingly. There's another cat starter a few years later, and that's Masquerada. And then it's just worse Incineroar. Like, literally. It's just grass worse Incineroar. And compare it to even its other 2 Paldean starters, it's not even close to him. Think about it. For one, it's another Masquerade Pokemon. Like, again, we literally just talked about a Masquerade Pokemon in Male Unpheasants. It's not even the only Masquerade Pokemon that's grass type, because Roserade is there. Their names even sound similar. Just why have the same concept and make it a cat furry bipedal thing? It just makes it worse. Like, did they really need that much furbait? I thought the Gen 8 starters had enough, and I love those guys. Kind of just there as like furry cat. That's the thing. I also don't like the personality that this has, at least in game. I think the anime one's fine, but I just don't like how it looks, like its personality wise. It just looks like the Mon you would not want to have if you were just like a regular person. If you were like a rebellious or, you know, like to prank people, that's fine. I'm kind of surprised this thing doesn't get prankster. But, you know, this thing is also just straight up annoying and competitive. Protein, even with its nerf, is just kind of crazy on this Mon because it just weirdly also has a good move pool for some reason. Like, I think I was today or even yesterday where I just learned this thing learns Play Rough. Hello? What? When? This Mon has so many things that I don't like about it, especially when you have a Florigato. A Florigato is actually a really good design in my opinion. For one, it looks definitely more cat-like even if it's bipedal. Masquerada to me just looks like some guy in a cat suit, while Florigato seems like a cat creature that's just bipedal. And also the thing with the yo-yo is really cool. Like, I don't even get Masquerada's thing where it's like floating around with it. Like, how does it do that? Does it have psychic powers? It's a dark type. Like, way too humanoid. And it could have been fine if it was like just a person, like a humanoid Pokemon like Gardevoir, but it's not. It's clearly a bipedal animal, but it's just a furry. There's a difference between a bipedal animal and a furry. A bipedal animal is something like Dodrio. That's a bipedal animal. Masquerada is a furry. That's because it's a bipedal animal that has human, like very human body parts. A horrible abomination, and I don't know why people exist like that. I just don't like Masquerada, and I know that a lot of people probably pick this as a starter, and if you do like it, cool. Just don't be one of those weirdos. But yeah, that's Masquerada. I just don't like it. Worst Gen 9 starter, and probably worst grass starter too. I don't like Masquerada. Whatever. Alright, next one. Hey, number 3 is actually a two-way tie to pretty similar Pokemon. Equally do not like. I channel a bit, you would probably know what these Pokemon are, but I'm sorry. Never been more disappointed in my life when I saw these 2 Pokemon. Let's start off with the least bad, and that's Mega Pyroar. Mega Pyroar is just bad. Bad in the situations that its fire moves are really good, and it has a really good ability. Kind of. What were they thinking? the gender difference to male Pyroar and female Pyroar are pretty cool. You know, the hair difference, which is, you know, based on real life lions. So that's not really a lazy thing. That's just the thing that happens in real nature. And, you know, Game Freak wanted to copy that, so they did. So, you know, that's cool. So why the hell did they just combine it and make it? That's it. They didn't make it ugly. They didn't make it weird looking. They just literally combined the two hairs of the male and the female, and then just and make it look like Gouging Fire's headpiece, but like a million times worse. Like, I get it. I think it's like the male is like fire in Japanese, and then the mega is like the symbol of blaze. Who cares? Done the hair thing, and you could have given it like fire wings to make it look like a manticore or something like that. You did not. You just gave it longer hair. Literally shave this guy's hair, and he would just be regular Pyro. Like, I think his hair spikes back are a little bit sharper, but they seriously couldn't do anything else. Like, literally just light this guy on fire, and that would just be like a million times cooler than whatever this design is. Also, Fire Main is not actually a good ability. I mean, it is really good for the fire side of things, like I said in that video. But then you also have to account this thing is normal type. At this point, just lose the normal type like Mega Aggron lost the rock type. It's kind of just hinders it, because it's still weak to fighting. And fighting is still a really good type in this game. Rely on its fire moves a lot, even though Hyper Voice is a really good normal stat. So it just puts it in this weird awkward situation. And then again, it's still a fire normal type, and that defensively is but also it's like a weird awkward situation with Mega Pyroar, and then it just looks bad. Like, it could be good design and be bad, but at least have a good design. Or it could be a bad design and be good. This is the most like outclassed Mon, especially when you're with Mega Charizard Y, aka the meta-defying creature you see everywhere. Like, hello, and it's just terrible design, and I don't like him or her. It's just terrible. And now I'm gonna tell you about my least favorite Mega Evolution of all times. It might be even my least favorite electric type of all times if it wasn't for a certain Pokemon. But I am here for my disapproval of Mega Raichu Y. Mega Raichu Y has become the fastest Mon I hated. I don't even remember how fast I hated this Mon. I love Raichu. Raichu is a really cool Mon, and it gets heavily outclassed by its pre-evolution for some reason. But then it got a Alolan form. That's great. That's cool. And its Alolan form is just as cute, if not even cuter, than Raichu. And then an amazing detail come out, and that was Mega Raichu. Mega Raichu. Mega Evolution for Raichu. This could have been the way to embrace how powerful Raichu could be, and how he could finally outclass Pikachu. But this would just show this cool, awesome gimmick. Especially when Gigantamax Pikachu came around, Raichu stocks have gone pretty low. But then it was revealed that Mega Pikachu practically was a thing now. Yes, I know it's called Raichu, but it just straight up looks like Pikachu. The only good factor about this guy is the color scheme. Everything else, garbage. I do not like this weird bearing creature. I can't even say Raichu anymore. Raichu kind of like devolve on some of its body parts. Like, why does it have just a Pikachu body and barely looks like Raichu? I don't even know where the Raichu features are besides the tail. Like, is it the heads? Is it that weird head crest? I do not like the head crest. Like I said a few times, and this Pokemon, for no reason at all, is good, is like an understatement. This thing has no guard, and it has Focus Blast, which is amazing coverage. Then it has Zap Cannon. Zap freaking cannon. Do you know how crazy that a move is with this Pokemon specifically? It's good. And it has a terrible design. Deeper reason why I don't like Mega Raichu, actually, hint hint, for another Pokemon that I don't like. But I just don't like it because it just looks bad. They were trying so hard to do Mega Raichu. Mega Raichu X, which is actually a pretty cool design, had Mega Raichu Y's color scheme. They just erase Y and then just have X, and then we could have a pretty cool looking design. I mean, even the Pikachu tails don't really surpass Mega Raichu X because it still very much just looks like Mega Raichu X. I mean, it's in the literal shape of an X, and that's kind of cool. And this thing freaking flies. But then comparing it to Raichu, it's like, why is this even called Raichu anymore? It's practically just Mega Pikachu with Raichu's colors. Like, at that point, just call this one Mega Pikachu. I don't like it because of another Pokemon I really don't like, and I think it's pretty obvious. I'm just done with the Pokemon. It's just burden. Just looking at those stupid freaking ears, bro. Those ears alone give me more pain than any ugly Pokemon like Jinx and Crabominable. Like, those guys, I think, were gonna look ugly. This just looks so much like but they couldn't, so they just rushed this guy into existence. That's what it feels like to me. Yeah, that's number 3. So, moving on. Alright, number 2. If you think Masquerada was controversial, well, you're not gonna like these last 2. Starting off with number 2, and that's Charizard. Charizard has a cool design. It's a cool fire dragon. But at this point, panderized so much by Game Freak. People have complained about how beloved Charizard is. And what's funny about it is that when you look at actual polls about like how popular Charizard is, it's pretty below in many ways. Because I think people have realized that Charizard is kind of just a fire dragon that's not dragon type, and then it's just, I mean, there's just way more cooler Pokemon, especially in newer generation. It has 2 Mega Evolutions, which is just kind of insane to give to a Pokemon that, mind you, in the past already had 2 games, and it's even more insane that didn't even give it to the more superior, in my opinion, Blastoise and Venusaur. Like, at least give those guys Megas so it could feel a little bit more even. I mean, all 3 of them got Gigantamaxes, but of course Charizard was the first one to get it. And it was actually in the Galar Pokédex for some reason. And also is, weirdly, the Champion's Ace to Gen 8. Which is like, okay, yeah, I get it. It has a new form and everything. But why is Charizard, starter Pokemon, who's not in this game technically until the end, had an ace Pokemon to a Galar champion? Charizard is a mon who's been clowned on by the Pokemon community because on how much Game Freak has given him. I mean, I'm kind of surprised this guy didn't get a Z move at that point. But, you know, I got a Gigantamax. I got 2 Megas. Really strong Megas too. Y itself is just the champion's meta. Like, literally, Pokemon have to literally build around just one weather setter that is just like crazy. And that's Charizard Y, especially with the limited roster. I think that's the biggest reason why. Hopefully there will be better counters to it. I'm sure there will. But until then, it's just poof. X is actually surprisingly not as good as many people think it was going to be, especially for, honestly, a pretty cool design. Tough Claws just is an ability for a physical fire type, especially for a physical dragon type. I mean, Flare Blitz is good, and it does have a lot of good physical coverage, but it gets kind of outclassed by its Y counterpart. And then the Gigantamax, I don't even know how crazy Gigantamax is. It's just freaking crazy if you think about it. But honestly, it's more of just, it's a Pokemon that I don't like because it's just pandarized everywhere. Like, whenever you're a Pokemon fan, a really new one, especially when you're young, you see Charizard as this cool, awesome Pokemon. And that's fine. But when you really get into this series and see more and care more about other Pokemon, you realize that Charizard isn't just there. I mean, look, he's not even the only fire dragon. He's not even dragon type until he Mega Evolves. I mean, look at Turtonator or freaking Reshiram. Those are really cool fire dragon types. And he's not even the only fire flying type. People love Talonflame. I mean, looking pretty powerful bird. And it's just like, you can't even use regular Charizard in meta. It has such a niche meh ability and solar power. It's bad. It's bad Pokemon. And it's just seen everywhere. And I've just gotten really annoyed by Charizard. And I've only been in this series for about like 7 years. Kind of really annoyed by Charizard. Just seeing it everywhere and getting new forms. It's just a Pokemon that I just really don't like because of the pandarization overall, rather than its design or even its meta status. It's just a Pokemon I just really don't like. Maybe give it a Gigantamax, but don't give it 2 Megas. Like, do X or Y instead of having 2. Would like it more to have the one that finally is Dragon type than the one that's just strong, in my opinion. Even for all 4 of them. Yes, 4. I don't know why Gengar also got a Gigantamax, but whatever. You know, and that would have been fine. But of course, Game Freak had to enlighten their golden their golden boy, and then just give it another Mega on top of the Mega that people probably assumed it kind of would happen. Like, what? I don't like Charizard more than other people. Mostly because I also, too, love a lot of underrated Mons. And I could just imagine, like, how many other Pokemon could have gotten something. Like, imagine it was, like, an actual Galar Pokemon that got a Gigantamax form. Like, freaking Gigantamax Dragapult. That would have fit perfectly. And honestly, give, like, a connection to, like, it fires its children. And what does Leon do? He kind of fires up Hawk. And that's, like, a better way to show that connection to a Pokemon that Leon already has. Plus, it's a Pokemon in the region. Plus, it can have this new form from that region. Whoa! Been doing that for freaking ever until, for some reason, Charizard lovers just kind of like, what, increased or something? I don't know. But yeah, I don't like Charizard. Enough said. Number 1 for my least favorite Pokemon of all times. Among all the terrible Pokemon that exist, none of them surpass this Pokemon, and that is freaking Pikachu. Pikachu is the mascot of Pokemon. And I know that it has to be seen in like commercials and stuff like that to promote new Pokemon stuff. And then, as a Pokemon fan, I am still deeply annoyed by this Pokemon. For one, Pikachu was given so many things. You think Charizard has a lot of things? Pikachu is right there, absolutely vile at Charizard for the amount of things Pokemon has given. Things that would have been warranted for other Pokemon. But no. They just had to for Pikachu's. The first thing that comes into mind is the Light Ball that increases Pikachu's attack and special attack. This is not impressive at all when you see how low its physical and special attack is. Plus, it's an electric type. Plus, ground types kind of wall it, especially ground rock types or ground steel types. Now there for those fans that really want to use Pikachu, but in a context, it's not even close. Being a really strong, not even fully evolved Pokemon, kind of wasted their time making this seemingly cool item to make it just overall useless. The Pikachu line, like Raichu included, that would have been something. That would have been cool. Where like this certain powerful item can be used on the fully evolved Pokemon. That's the thing. Why did they just do it for Pikachu? A future game, it could also work for Raichu to give it a niche, because I know that those two megas, will be gone. And then they just kept giving it more stuff. They gave it a signature Z move. Like, why did you do that for Pikachu when you already gave something to its evolution, Raichu? And you also gave it a Z move. Why did you do it to Pikachu? Like, what? I mean, I guess they had to do it because of, like, Ash Alola, but, like, there's an electric Z move. You could just use that. Like, who cares? It's a strong Z move. But again, ground types are just right there. Bulky ground types literally define the meta. What's the point? Then they gave it a Gigantamax, a literal generation after. And it's just getting to a point where it's like, okay, relax on the Pikachu stuff. Like, why are we giving it to Pikachu again? And this was literally the game before in Let's Go Pikachu. Like, we already had enough Pikachu stuff, and you just kept giving us it more. Thankfully, Gen 9 weakened it a bit because it's like, terrestrialization isn't unique. Where it's like, oh, all the Pokemon could do it. It doesn't have, like, Terapagos form. But thankfully, they didn't really do much with it. I mean, it was kind of... And it was the first raid, too, where it was, like, a flying type. Even now, when Generation 10, the first double-digit generation, and not even... We've barely seen game footage, or new Pokemon, or anything, besides the starters, of course. And they already gave us 2 Pikachu forms. Like, if these are, like, significant forms, or if they're NPCs, the Pikachu panderization is still going. It would be a whole different thing if none of this stuff happened and Pikachu was just all across the marketing. To me, I think it would be a little bit annoying, but I would probably just say, well, it's the mascot, of course. It would be everywhere in promotion. But they did give it these forms. They did give it these items. And even referenced it to Mega Raichu. Both Mega Raichu. Freaking hate Mega Raichu Y. Not as much as this Pokemon. Like, we could have had so many other things besides this Pokemon. One thing to have, like, an Ash hat Pikachu thing, to have another pretty popular Pikachu with a hat that's Captain Pikachu. Why are we still using Pikachu and giving it these unique forms? Those are the biggest reasons why I don't like Pikachu. Pikachu kind of only had, like, Captain Pikachu. That would have been fine with me. Honestly, Captain Pikachu is just a really cool character, in my opinion. Constant form change that Pikachu still has that makes me just so annoyed. Like, why do we have to planderize a Pokemon that's just already popular? Again, also has 2 games, is that it's the mascot. But when you think of other video game characters, you don't see that much planderization for them. Pokemon is a monster catching game. It's a game where you can find thousands and soon thousands of more Pokemon. There are all types of Pokemon in your campaign to show the variety of Pokemon, with them using legendaries more, because they are the main points of the game. They are the face. They are the faces of the games. Many of the games, except for a bunch of Kanto Pokemon. But then it's just like Pikachu, Pikachu, Pikachu. It's like most people know Pokemon because of Pikachu. And that's fine for those fans. But why do us, the deeper, harder fans that love newer Pokemon, that are from newer Pokemon games, have to suffer the old nostalgia? Like, it's a boomer Pokemon, guys. And they're still using it. Like, I get it. Cute mascot. Cool. Whatever. Why can't you use more cute mascots? You already use a lot of Eevee. And surprisingly, guess what? I love Mimikyu. You know how popular Mimikyu is in the community? It was one of the most popularest Google Pokemon. And it still is a very popular Pokemon, even though its entire thing is copying Pikachu's popularity. Isn't that kind of ironic? Entire species just because they wanted to recapture the Pikachu clones. They're not officially called that, but like, come on, they're literally the regional Pikachu clones. And even then, I still like them more because they don't use them as much. Hell, every time a new generation comes up, after, like the main trailers, they should just use those Pikachu clones for their Pikachu until, the anime comes out. Why do they have these forms? To capture Pikachu's love, even though they're just gonna shaft it somewhere else. I mean, it's cool that Palmot is, a fully evolved, actually usable Pokemon. It's cool that Togedemaru, has a freaking totem form and is just overall pretty decent and good. It's cool that Morpeko has a form change, but like all of the rest of them kind of just have to suffer in limbo. But none of them even got like a Mega Evolution. Like, how did Dedenne not get a Mega Evolution? But Pikachu practically kind of did. Is a mon that is very popular. It's fine, but to like serious fans like me, it's just a mon that I just really don't like because it's just everywhere and just didn't deserve these forms. But why give all of this stuff to Pikachu? It already has a face, capture people to come to Pokemon. And then people just waltz right into Pokemon, loving Pokemon. And then they start having their true favorite Pokemon. And then they start playing more video games. And then they start communicating to other people who love Pokemon and tell them about their favorites. Wanna say this. They're not talking about Pikachu. Thing that I've also noticed is that like those classic polls for like the most popular Pokemon, a lot of the time you see Pikachu very high in the Kanto list. When you compare it to other Pokemon like Evolution, Gardevoir, Mimikyu, Gengar, and all those other cool Pokemon, it can't even compare to them. And that's to show that these Pokemon, these more unique Pokemon of this elusive creature who's disguised as the mascot, is more popular than the mascot itself. And I don't like it because of how plandarized it is. And I only hope that Wind and Waves can fix this if they give my boy Durant a regional form, an evolution, or both. Please, one of these three, I would be the happiest boy in myself. Like, I have no idea why I love that Pokemon more than anything. Besides Gardevoir and Lurantis, obviously. But still. All I'm saying is, I don't like Pikachu. You could love Pikachu for how cute it is. I won't say that it has a bad design or anything. But I'm just tired. I'm so tired of seeing it everywhere. And I've only been in this franchise for 7 years. I'm sure that there are a lot of older fans that are getting like, oh, another Pikachu form? Are you serious, Game Freak? Are you kidding me? Are you out of your mind? It's Pikachu. Can't do anything about it. But I'm just hoping that at least something like these underrated Pokemon will finally get what they deserve. Alright then, thank you guys for watching this video. Like, subscribe, and don't forget, I also have check them out. I'll see you guys later. Goodbye. I'm gonna actually be hopefully purchasing Nintendo's least favorite game franchise that they did a lawsuit. That's right. I'm gonna be playing Power World very soon. So hopefully I can make a tier list for Power World. So that would be kind of fun. Grab those Power World fans too. But yeah, I'll see you guys later. Say hi to Ultra Me, and I hope you have a good rest of your day. Alright, goodbye. Click another video right here. Alright, see you guys later.